Hey guys, Nicole here with Obscure Reptiles and Caging, and today we're going over our disclaimer for building PVC cages and racks. So let's get started. Hey guys, today we are here with Morel, one of our females. She's growing fantastic. She's actually a black pastel banana that we have here. But today we are going over our cages and racks. We have a disclaimer. If you guys have never seen anything that we have done, actually these four back here, those are four that we built about a year and a half ago. But if you go to our website, twistedreptiles.com, you can actually see we have an entire tab dedicated to everything that we build, the sizes, the material, and it goes very in depth for you guys. You can also go to our Facebook page, Obscure Reptiles and Caging. That's where I'm going to be reading our disclaimer off of. So for you guys who've never seen it before, if you go to Obscure Reptiles and Caging and you go to the About tab, there is a description, and underneath that it says disclaimer. So we're going to be reading some of that word for word for you guys. The only thing we're really not going to be going over right now is pricing, because that will be fluctuating. Unfortunately, every time we order PVC, we have to order it in bulk, and sometimes it's a little bit more, a little bit less. So once people have placed deposits on things, the prices will not change. But let's say you ask today how much a 4x2x2 is. If you ask again in 3 months and say, okay, I'm ready to order, it may be higher, it may be lower. It all depends on the PVC pricing at that time. So the beginning of our disclaimer says, deposits are required before each build begins. All deposits are non-refundable once a cage or rack has been started being built. The reason why we do a deposit is we have a very small work area that we can actually use. So what happens is when somebody places an order and we receive a deposit, a $50 deposit, we will pre-cut your item. So it is $50 per item. So if you get, let's say, 6 racks or 6 cages or 6 of anything, that's going to be a $300 deposit because it's $50 per item. So we pre-cut that item and we set it aside. Now you can either say I'm ready for that item as soon as possible, or you can say, you know, I'm putting the deposit down June 1st, but I'm ready for it July 1st. No matter what you do, we are going to make sure you are ready for that item, because once we pre-cut it, we cannot transfer or refund that deposit because that item is pre-cut. It's taking up space, and there's really nowhere that we are able to put that kind of stuff. We don't have any overflow, any room for extra stock. So that's why we do a deposit before we actually start building things. We accept Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and cash for deposits. The remaining balance is due in cash at pickup. Now the reason that we do that is we've had a few people who actually stop by in person and they're ready to pick up their item, but unfortunately their phone didn't work, their Venmo wasn't acting up, they didn't have service, and they were unable to pay, but they wanted to pick up their item. So that's why we just tell everyone we will do the deposit through, let's say, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, but we ask that cash is brought for the remaining amount that's due in person when you actually pick up the item. That way there's no issues or problems. You can also send it before you come. That way, you know, we've already received it. We know there's not going to be any issues or problems. But we've had quite a few people who've had that problem, so that's why we tell everyone just to bring cash at pickup, because it makes it very easy. All heat tape installed has no warranty from the manufacturer or us here at Obscure. The end user is responsible for all use and maintenance. After installation, we test all heat tape to ensure it's in working order. All cages are sold as is. We ask that all items are looked over and approved during pickup. Once they have left, we are no longer responsible. So, when it comes to heat tape specifically, heat tape, if used improperly, if it's damaged or broken, or there's, you know, let's say you put a probe on but you don't tape it down, these are all fire hazards. If you go to any company who sells heat tape directly, or places that install heat tape, there's no sort of warranty, there's no sort of anything from the manufacturer. We make sure the heat tape is working and running when, you know, we install it for you guys. But let's say you guys put it in your car on the way home, you know, you pull it out of the car and you rip your heat tape. that could be a fire hazard. So we ask that everyone is very careful with your heat tape, very cautious. Make sure you're using your probe correctly. If you've never used heat tape before, please watch videos. We actually have a couple of videos about heat tape specifically right here on our channel. But please make sure you're using a thermostat, you're using a probe, you're doing everything correctly, you're checking it weekly, because these bins, let's say you're getting a rack, you're going to get constant rubbing on that. You can do things like you could put foil tape over it, tons of stuff like that, but we do not have any sort of a warranty here. And when you pick up your item, again, things like dings or scratches, that can happen when you guys are bringing your cages or racks in the house on. Sometimes people really cram large cages into small vehicles. Little dings and scratches can happen, so just make sure you guys look over anything you purchase from us before it even leaves. That way you know what conditions it's in before it goes anywhere. That way you guys can look over everything and approve it before you even take it home. All cages are built by hand with no CNC machine. This is how we keep prices down, and we have such a fast turnaround time. Normally we can have things ready, like let's say you want a rack and we've already got some of the sides pre-cut. We can normally assemble that within the week for you, depending on our schedule, what we have going on, and if it's already pre-cut. But things like racks can normally be done within 1 to 3 weeks. Cages can be anywhere from 2 to 5 weeks. It all depends on what size, how many you're getting, what kind of things you want added onto these. But normally racks can be done fairly quickly, and cages, it takes a little bit longer. There's a lot more work to put into them, but things like our cages and racks come fully assembled, heat tape fully ready to go. You just have to take them home, fully clean them, and you use sealant, which we'll get to shortly. Our cages are true sizing outside to outside. So we've had quite a few people mention that they've gotten cages from other companies, and when they say it's a 4x2x2, it's only 46 inches wide. If we say a cage is 4x2x2, the outside to outside measurement is 48 inches by 24 inches by 24 inches. Outside to outside measurements. We do true sizing here. That way you are getting all the bang for your buck. You are getting everything that you guys are paying for, but that's not the inside to inside measurements. That is the outside of a cage all the way to the outside of a cage. So here's the part that we've had a lot of issues with in the past. So if we are notified 24 hours or less that you will be missing your pickup appointment, you could lose your deposit, or we can add a daily storage fee. If items are built and ready to pick up and a customer moves back the pickup date, you will again be notified of an additional storage charge. So the reason why we're doing this is because we have that very small work area, and we have had so many times where people say, let's just say they want their cage or rack June 1st. We put 5 cages together for June 1st. You know, when we start putting the cages together, we again ask, are you ready for June 1st? We get a green light, we get the thumbs up. So 2 to 3 times we get people saying, yes, 100% definitely want June 1st. And then it's June 1st, they're supposed to come at noon, and at 11 a.m. we get a text saying, oh yeah, no, I won't be able to pick up, so we'll have to come July 1st. Well, unfortunately, we have such a small work area that we now cannot make other cages for other people, we can't make other racks for other people, and other people who want things, in a week, 2 weeks, or we've already have scheduled to come, let's say, June 3rd, to pick up a rack, now can't because that June 1st person did not show. So that is why we do a storage fee if we have to keep the item here. Again, we always ask multiple times, are you ready for us to put it together? Are you definitely sure you're ready to put it together? We understand that things happen and come up. I totally understand that, but sometimes we're getting 50% of people moving back their pickup date, not showing for their pickup date, or, letting us know 20 minutes before they're supposed to arrive. I not only do cages, do reptiles, have a full-time job as a carpenter, have a wife, family, people I take care of, and I'm all over the place. So when people schedule a day or time to actually pick up a cage or rack, I rearrange my whole schedule to make sure that that can happen for that person. So it's not only having to now change my whole day, change all of my plans, but now we can't make things for people. So that's our biggest thing, is if we agree on a date, let's say June 1st, and then I message you 5 days before June 1st and say, are you definitely sure for that rack or cage or whatever you ordered? please make sure that you guys come and pick up or have someone else come and pick up those items, because that's one of the biggest problems we've had is people being and arriving on a timely manner. The time slot that they've asked for, they say they come at 11, they show up at 2 or 3. I can be really flexible when it comes to certain things, but when it comes to that, we've had so many people who have taken advantage and not shown and pushed dates back weeks or even months to pick things up and have put everything on hold. We're going to be a little bit more strict on that now, and that's why we have it right on the disclaimer. Please let us know if you need a substrate barrier. All cages have to be sealed before use. We normally have a sealant in stock. We actually carry Lexel, so when you guys pick cages up, we can also use the one. You can buy Lexel from us. 1, 2 will get you like 3, 4, even 5 cages fully sealed. It's like $5 a tube. And if you guys want us to seal a cage for you, we can also do that the day or two before, so it doesn't have that odor. You don't have to wait the 24 hours that is recommended before putting an animal in after sealing. We could do all that. That's an additional $5 again per cage. Pretty simple, but we can do other things like that for you. There's a lot of extra add-ons that we could do for cages, so just make sure if you guys have any questions or there's things that you guys are interested in to just shoot us a message. I started doing cages more or less to help people out because so many people, for example, have bearded dragons in these tiny little glass fish tanks, or ball pythons in improper caging. So by being able to make cages and racks, I know that all these animals are going, or at least have a much better chance of having a better life than what they had before. We try to keep our prices as low as possible. Again, this is just me doing this. I'm the only one building these cages. One day maybe we'll have a big company doing all these reptiles and all these cages and stuff. We do not ship any of these cages or racks as of right now. It's just too expensive. But we've had a lot of positive responses from people who have gotten cages or racks from us over the last 3 years. I'm very excited to be building them again. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We do new videos, a few of them a week now. So I'll see you guys in the next video.